the motor's gone and I need a new motor. So I was trying to put the oil feed line for the turbo on for the new big turbo. It went righty-tighty to righty-loosey. It's time, boys, it's time. We're putting the big turbo on, and then basically the build for my dream build of the Focus is basically complete. I might be changing the wheel setup, that way I can have better like performance with this new turbo and everything, because I did get the G25-550. I'll be showing you that shortly. So I would have the garage open, but that Hurricane Helene or Helen, whatever, is starting to blow up from the south. So now we're getting the, basically like you could say a tropical storm, I guess, whatever is what it would be considered-ish. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start taking off like all the easy stuff, like this little shroud cow thing with the wipers, take that off. The cold air intake, I'll take that off. Go underneath the car, and I'll go ahead and start taking off like the charge pipes, the rear motor mount. That way I can move the motor like forward and backward, make it a little easier to get the turbo in and out. When it comes to removing your hot side charge pipe, pretty much at the intercooler, that's a 7mm, so unscrew that. Along with this is also a 7mm that's connected to the turbo, and then we'll go underneath. Alright, so there's the turbo there that connected to the charge pipe, and it came down and connected to, came down this way, connected to that bolt right there, and then went along here, up through here, connected to this bolt right there, and that's where you unscrew at your charge pipe right here, or your intercooler, sorry, intercooler, and your charge pipe gets connected from right there, and then you unscrew it, unbolt them all, and then you're good to go. So that's all good. Alright, so I have the down pipe, the catless down pipe, this hot side charge pipe, all taken off. I have the cold air intake up top taken off. Now I'm just going to have to actually run to the store, grab an extra pan, that way I can drain the coolant over here, along with draining the oil. I'm going to have to do an oil change anyway. And then once that happens, then I'm going to drain the rest of the coolant that's in the turbo, and then the rest, and then this oil feed line or drain line, I'll take that off and have some oil come out of that. You see now where people say that you should take off your axle on the passenger side, because it would give you, I mean, like at least a solid what, like 9-10 inches of clearance. Now you only have, once you push on your motor and rock it forward a little bit. So right now we're working with maybe 6 inches, 8 inches. I don't know. It's not big, okay? So once that's all done, be taking out the old one, putting in the new one. It's going a lot easier and smoother than I thought. Alright, so a little update. This coolant tube right here going to the turbo, that's connected to this nipple right on the other side of that little silver piece right here. Let's see if we can see my finger underneath right here. Sucks to get to. It's super hard. I tried using a zip tie, if you can see that, to try and pinch it. It did okay, but not the best. So now we're draining the coolant. Alright, I'm not sure how well you guys can see it, but I'll just zoom in on the coolant line where you're going to have to take it off at, so that way you can see it better, and then I'll zoom out, that way you kind of get oriented where it's at and location wise, but it's basically right on the other side of that turbo, the hot side, right behind the downpipe once you take that off. Alright, so as you can see, we got the 4 bolts off of the turbo that's holding it. Here there's 1, 2, 3, and then 4 down here. Well, actually the one down there is actually right here. It came off with it, no big deal. Just use a 1/4 inch sock piece right here. And then the bolt size or nut size I think is 13. So then you can just back it off that way, and now I'm gonna go put this back in, and it stops. It has a little stop point right there, so it can only go so far. So I'm gonna put that back in, and we're gonna take it off. All right, here we go. Taking off the old turbo. My goodness, that was harder than I thought. Alright, so as you guys can see, I was really struggling to get that out of there. You probably could take off more of the coolant lines and everything. I feel like other people, that's what they have done. However, I figured it would have just came out pretty easily since it's smaller. But no, now it's time to start getting this new one, the Garrett G25-550, all ready to go. So now we have to just hook up the coolant lines, the oil feed, return, all that stuff. Yeah, all right. All right guys, so bad news about the Focus. This is a day after of me trying to install the turbo. I actually have to take it to a machine shop or find someone that's able to tap or rethread or something to the engine block, because when I was trying to put the oil feed line for the turbo on for the new big turbo, it went righty-tighty to righty-loosey. So I stripped it. Now either I cross-threaded or something, but the threads are stripped. So I need someone to fix that, and I'm trying to reach out to find people that can possibly, hopefully fix it. If not, worst case scenario, the motor's gone and I need a new motor. So we'll see. So that way, if you guys are in the process of doing a big turbo kit and you run across putting in or attaching your turbo feed line to the block, don't over tighten it. Treat it like a spark plug where you make it snug and tight and then do like a little 1/4 turn-ish kind of a thing there. No one warned me. So yeah, big bummer. Hopefully it's not too expensive to fix. We'll see. All right guys, so as you can see, the car is gone. Doesn't mean it's running yet. However, well actually it is running, but the car's been gone for a few days now. Actually Monday, it's now Wednesday. They said they got the car running, got it finished up and everything, so we're about to go pick it up and we'll see how it sounds. I'm so excited. All right, so as I was updating you that I was going to get the Focus, I have got it. It runs, drives, it sounds amazing right now. But I have it up on jack stands so I can show you guys what they did underneath and how they fixed the problem, or so-called, I don't know, maybe how they fixed the problem. We'll see. So I already showed somewhat how to route this all up for the cold side charge pipe. Let's see, looks like actually might be leaking oil, so I'm gonna have to double check that. Let's see, they did get a new oil, a new one of those, oil drain, so that all looks good. Let's see, this does look like it's leaking oil though. Definitely gonna have to keep an eye out on that. I did not realize this until now, that it does look like it's leaking oil. So that's that. Now I'm just gonna have to keep an eye out on that to make sure it's not actually leaking too bad. Maybe it was from when, well, I don't know. We'll have to just keep an eye out on that. And then there is the tubing that they ran. the coolant. There's that. Where is, okay, there's that thing. This appears to be all sturdy now. There's the dump tube for everything, and it just blows out right there. Dang. Let's see. I did get a new washer right here and bolts for this downpipe and the callus downpipe and the AWE exhaust, because the other one was broken like crazy. I just want to try and find this other oxygen sensor. Okay, there's that oxygen sensor right there. Let's see if you guys can see it. Right there, you can see it, the white wire. It looks like that might be a different oxygen sensor, possibly. So that's all out of the way, good to go. I really need to keep an eye out on that leak though. So I'm gonna double check and make sure that I have enough oil in this thing, because that kind of does concern me a little bit. All right, so I just sprayed some brake cleaner around it, around that bolt and everything. So I'm going to let the car run for a little bit while it's up on this jack stand and just see if it's leaking at all. I mean, this is from me spraying it and wiping it all down underneath the oil pan. So we'll see, double check, make sure it's all good to go. And then actually when I was on my way home from picking it up, I did have the front bumper off, and you can see I might have got a little too happy and kind of shredded the wheel well a little bit as it was getting pushed from the wind into the tire. So whoopsie on my part, but it is covered by the front bumper now, so we should all be good to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get in the car, turn it on, let it run for a little bit. I just really hope that this little oil thing isn't like too crazy. Maybe it just needed to seal a little bit. Not sure, so we'll see. Right there. I don't know. So we'll give it time. I'll keep checking. I'm gonna check my oil after I let it run for a little bit. We'll see what I get it up to for temperature wise. Honestly, it probably should be up to operating temp before it even probably starts to leak, maybe a little bit. But right now we're at, I mean, oil temp, we're only at 96. So really it needs to get up to like 170 before it even like probably would start leaking, I feel like, maybe. But I mean, it's not like it was leaking on the concrete. It's probably just a slow drip leak, which is super annoying if that is the case. I just have to really pay attention to it. So we'll see. All right guys, so this install video of the Garrett G25-550 turbo with the T51R mod is effectively over, just because I didn't put it on. I took everything off, as you can see. I messed up. Don't do that. Just be very careful when you're putting in the turbo feed line and the coolant line onto the block. It's going to be like inch pounds or like Newton. It's like not even foot pounds. Like, it's very minute of a torque spec. Definitely look that up beforehand. I did not. I want to say it was like 12 or 17 foot pound, or not foot pounds, inch pounds or whatever it is. I'm sure somebody in the comments will fix my mistake of misspeaking. But the car definitely sounds a whole lot deeper, and I'm working on now a video of the tuning for it, since I'm working with Alan and we're doing the e-tuning. So I data log, send him, he makes a revision, sends it back. So I'm working on that video, and oh my goodness, someone dented my door. What an asshole. Look at that. Look at that. That's aggravating. But anyway, so working on that, and then I'm gonna be hopefully getting, once it's done, making some like POV drives with it, because it sounds insane. And then also getting some like not reviews, but like reaction videos of my friends and some family. So that'll be exciting, because this thing is ripping on the second revision already.